Namaskar and welcome dear student. My name is Dr. Bhavani Shankar. I am course coordinator of this subject. Today we are going to discuss about basic structure and feature of the Indian Constitution. Dear student, first you appear in this lecture. You have some basic knowledge of the general studies or law or related to media, related to other IPC or CRPC. Some basic knowledge of the Indian Constitution, and you have must read newspaper, magazine regularly. Dear student, Constitution of a country is the foundation on which freedom of the citizen rests. It is the cornerstone on which the entire democratic system is constructed. So let us learn and appreciate our Constitution. At the end of this lesson, you know the guarantees of the Indian Constitution. You learn the right and duties of the citizen. You study the right and restriction of the media professionals. Dear student, the Constitution of India is a unique constitution. It is the largest written liberal democratic constitution of the world. It provides for a mixture of federalism and unitarism. The Constitution of India has been successfully guiding the path and the progress of India. The silence feature of the Constitution of India can be discussed as follows. The Constitution is a wholly written document that incorporates this constitutional law of India. It was fully debated and duly enacted by the Constituent Assembly of India. Indian Constitution is a very detailed constitution. India consists of 448 articles divided into 25th part with 12 schedule. It is a constitution of both center and state of the Indian Union. The Indian Constitution is the longest and the most detailed in the world. A detailed list of fundamental rights from the Article 12 to 25th is included in Chapter 3rd of the Constitution. In Chapter 4 from Article 35 to 51, a detailed list of directive principles of state policies is also included, which are guidelines of the state in policy making. From Article 350 to 360, the emergency power of the President have also been included in it. A detailed description of center-state relation is given in Chapter 11 and 12 of it. The objective of the Constituent Assembly was not to enact an original constitution, rather to enact a good and workable constitution. The Assembly evaluated the constitutions of other countries, and whatever good they found in these constitutions, they included in their own constitution. Parliamentary government and rule of law are the influence of the British Constitution. The fundamental rights and the special provision of the judiciary is the influence of the Constitution of USA, United States of America. The directive principle of state policy have been borrowed from the Constitution of Ireland. The federal system of India in the coming from Canadian Constitution, the method of the amendment of the Constitution and the method of the election of the member of Rajya Sabha have been borrowed from the Constitution of South Africa. The emergency power of the President are the influence of the Constitution of Germany. Indian Constitution is a constitution made by the people of India acting through their duly elected and representative body, the Constituent Assembly, that was organized in December 1946. Its first session was held on 9th December 1946. The Constitution became fully operational with the effect from 26th of January 1950. We celebrate this day as our Republic Day. The preamble to the Constitution of India is a well-drafted document which states the philosophy of the Constitution. It declares India to be a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and a welfare state committed to secure justice, liberty and equality for the people and for promoting fraternity, dignity, the individuals and unity and integrity of the nation. The preamble is the key to the Constitution of India. The preamble states that the objective to be secured to every citizen are justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and unity and integrity of the nation. Regarding justice, one thing is clear that the Indian Constitution accepts political justice to be the means to achieve social and economic justice by making the state more and more welfare oriented in nature. Political justice in India is guaranteed by universal adult safeguard without any sort of qualification. Liberty is an essential attribute of a free society that help in the development of intellectual, mental and spiritual facilities of an individual. The Indian Constitution guarantees 6 democratic freedom to the individual under Article 19 and the right to freedom of religion under Article 25 to 28 of the Indian Constitution. Although right for the beginning, the Indian Constitution fully reflected the spirit of democratic socialism. It was only in 1976 that the preamble was amended to include the term secularism. It now regarded as a prime feature of the Indian state. India is committed to secure social, economic and political justice for its entire people by ending all form of exploitation and by securing equal distribution of economic incomes, resources and wealth. India gives a special status to no religion. This makes it different from states like the Islamic Republic of Pakistan or other Islamic countries. Further, Indian secularism guarantees equal freedom to all religions. The Constitution grants the right to religion freedom to all the citizens in India, in our country. India is a democratic state. The Constitution of India provides for a democratic system. The authority of the government rests upon the sovereignty of the people. People enjoy equal political rights. On the basis of these rights, the people freely participates in the process of politics. They elect their government. Free, fair and regular elections are held for electing governments. For all its activities, the government of India is responsible before the people. The people can change their government through election. No government can remain in power which does not enjoy the confidence of the people. India is the world's largest working democracy. India is a republic. The preamble declares India to be a republic. India is not ruled by a monarchy or a nominated head of the state. India has an elected head of the state who wield power for a fixed term of 5 years. Every 5 years, the people of India indirectly elect their head of the state. India is a union of states. Article 1st of the Constitution declared that India, that is Bharat, is a union of states. The term union of states shows two important facts: that Indian union is not the result of voluntary agreement among sovereign states, and that state of India do not enjoy the right to secede from the union. Federal structure, there is 3 subject list: the union list and the state list and the concurrent list. Define the legislative power of each level of government. The union government reserved the right to make laws in area of specific on the union list, and the state government allowed to make law in area of specific on state list. In our parliamentary democracy, the President of India is elected by the Parliament and state legislative assemblies and not directly by the people. The President is the head of state and all the businesses of executive and laws of Parliament are in his her name. The Prime Minister of the Council of Ministers exercise their office only long as they enjoy a majority support in the Lok Sabha of the Parliament, which consists of members directly elected by the people. A similar structure is present in the state, where the directly elected legislative assembly enjoy control over the chief minister and the state council of ministers. In our constitution, judiciary is independent. The judiciary of India is free of control from the executive or the parliament. The judiciary acts as an interpreter of the constitution and as an intermediary in case of disputes between two states or between a state and the union. An act passed by the parliament or a legislative assembly is subject to judicial review and can be declared unconstitutional by the judiciary if it feels that the act violates the provision of the constitution. In Indian constitution, the judiciary in India provides the power of judicial review through the constitution, which means that all the law passed by the parliament and the state legislature, constitutional amendments, ordinance and executive order issued by the executive are reviewed by the judiciary, and in case judiciary find that any one of these is against the constitution, the judiciary has the power to declare it unconstitutional. Rule of law means that the law is supreme over person and everybody is equally responsible before law. However, she may be also the person is punished on the violation of law and no arbitrary punishment can be given to him. There is provisions single citizenship in India. A person may be living in any state, but he is the citizen of India alone. The principle of double citizenship promote regionalism. The principle of single citizenship promote national unity. Therefore, the principle of single citizenship is adopted in India. Fundamental rights have been included into the chapter 3rd of the Indian Constitution. There are 6 fundamental rights: right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational right, right to constitutional remedies. In order to develop his personality and to establish his dignity in the social and political life, a citizen must have these rights. According to Article 13(2) of the Constitution, the state cannot make any law, rule, regulation or issues an order in violation of any of the fundamental rights. Fundamental rights can never be suspended in normal circumstances. They can be suspended only in extraordinary situation when emergency is declared by President of India and under Article 352. Dear student, basic structure of the Indian Constitution is a very important portion, very important topic of our Constitution. The basic structure of the Constitution of India appeals only the constitutional amendments which states that the Parliament cannot destroy or alter the basic feature of the Indian Constitution. These features include first, supremacy of the Constitution, democratic form of government, secular character of Constitution, separation of power and federal structure of Constitution. The Constitution empowers the Parliament and the state legislature to make laws within their respective jurisdictions. Bills to amend the Constitution can only be introduced in the Parliament, but this power is not absolute. If the Supreme Court finds any law made by the Parliament insufficient with the Constitution, it has the power to declare that law to be invalid. Though the respective the ideals and philosophy of the original Constitution, the Supreme Court has laid down the basic structure doctrine. According to the doctrine, the Parliament cannot destroy or alter the basic structure of the doctrine. The word basic structure is not mentioned in the Constitution of India. The concept developed gradually with the interference of the judiciary for the time to time protect their basic rights, the people, and the ideals of the philosophy of the constitution. Sankari Prasad case. In this case, the Supreme Court contend that the Parliament's power of amending the Constitution under Article 368 included the power to amend the fundamental right guarantees in Part 3 as well. Sajjan Singh case. In this case also, the SC held that the Parliament can amend any part of the Constitution including the fundamental rights. It is noteworthy to point out that two dissenting judges in this case remarked whether the fundamental right of citizen could become a plaything of the majority party in the Parliament. Golaknath case. In this case, the court reserved its earlier stand that the fundamental right can be amended. It said that fundamental rights are not amendable to parliamentary restrictions as stand in Article 13, and that to amend the fundamental right, a new constituted assembly would be required. Also stand that Article 368 gives the procedure to amend the constitution but does not confer on Parliament the power to amend the constitution. The Supreme Court in the Kesavanand Bharti versus State of Kerala case overruled its earlier decision of 1960 and made it clear that it is a part of the constitution and is subject to the amending power of the Parliament as any other provision of the constitution, providing the basic structure of the constitution as found in the preamble is not destroyed. However, it is not the essential part of the constitution. This was a landmark case in defining the concept of the basic structure of the Indian constitution. The Supreme Court held that although no part of the constitution, including fundamental right, was beyond the Parliament's amending power, the basic structure of the constitution could not be abrogated even by a constitutional amendment. The judgment implied that the Parliament can only amend the constitution and not rewrite it. The power to amend is not a power to destroy. This is a basis in the Indian law in which the judiciary can strike down any amendment passed by the Parliament that is in conflict with the basic structure of the Indian Constitution time to time. Finally, it may be said that the final word on the issue of the basic structure of the Constitution has been not pronounced by the Supreme Court of India, a scenario that is unlikely to change in the near future, while the idea that there is such a thing as a basic structure to Constitution in well established, its content cannot be completely determined with any measure of finality until a judgment of the Supreme Court spell it out. Nevertheless, the sovereign, democratic and secular character of the polity, rule of law, independence of the judiciary, fundamental rights of the citizens, etc. are not some the essential feature of the Constitution that have appeared time and again in the apex count apposipiment. Dear student, this is some references. You can use these references for your information. Thank you, dear student, for your patience and watching this lecture. Thank you. Good day.